All right, welcome back to Math Quest. Hey, here we go. Without further ado, you know how I like to get started right away, right? So I hope you have your notebook ready, have your pen and pencil, pen or pencil ready. But hey, let's get to it. We're going to simplify some expressions, and I'm going to try to give you some ideas on how to make this easy. So let's start writing this down. We have x plus x minus 3 plus 4x, that's 4x squared, plus 2x, plus x squared. I was thinking of something else to add. All right, because I didn't like the full original. Anyway, let's get to it. What I'd like you to do is look at all the terms and identify which ones are alike, because I dropped my pen, because we cannot combine things that are not alike. The example I like to give when I'm teaching in a classroom is apples to oranges. If I have 3 apples and 2 oranges, can I combine them and make 5 apples? I cannot, right? So it's the same principle here. So what I want you to do is put a box around everything that is the same. So I know that this x is the same and this is the same. So I'm looking for all the x's right now. Look at this one right here. This is not the same. This is an x squared, okay? So it's not the same as just an x by itself. The number in front of it doesn't matter. So I keep going. Here I have another x, and here is an x squared. So that is not the same as the x's. Now I'm gonna put a circle around the x squares. So this is an x squared. This is an x squared. Look what it leaves behind. A 3. And not only a 3, that minus sign belongs to the 3. Okay? So that whole thing is together. Because I need another shape, and just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to go ahead and put a triangle around this. Now, the number by itself is called a coefficient. Excuse me, that's wrong. It's called a constant, okay? And the constant, we always want to write it at the end of everything else. We want to write everything in order from the highest exponent to the least, basically, right? So right now we're going to start with our x squares, right? So let's start with 4x squared. And then we also had another x squared here. I'm just going to put them in order right now. I'm not going to start combining them yet. And then we have, that's it for them. So only 2 circles. Notice I have the 2 circles there. Now let's look at all the squares. The biggest squared is the 2x square. I keep saying square, sorry. The x. So it's a plus 2x. Here I put a square on the 2x, but that plus sign belongs to that 2, so that's why I put it here, 2x. Let's keep going. Here we have 2 x's, so let's go ahead and write those in. Plus x. Oops, that's a sloppy x. And last, we have the minus 3. Minus 3. All right. Now, let's go ahead and combine them. So right here, as we said, these right here belong together, so that's 4x squared plus 1x squared. So all I'm gonna do is add the whole numbers here, the 4 and the 1. There's a 1 in front of here, we just never write it in, okay? So that's actually 5x squared. All right, now I'm done with that section. Let's look at the other section. The other section is from here all the way over here. So this is simple. We have 2 x's plus 1 more x is 3 x's plus 1 more x is 4 x's. So I have 4x. And at the end, like we said, we have the minus 3. So minus 3. And that's as far as we can simplify this. So there, that would be my last and final answer, because I cannot condense it anymore. I cannot simplify it anymore. All right. Hopefully that made some sense to you. I'm going to put up another one. Feel free to pause the video and try it out to see if you're able to solve it, and then go ahead and play to see the final answer. Okay, let's check it out. All right, so on this one, I went ahead and typed it out because my writing was just atrocious. Some of my X's look like Y's. Anyway, here we go. We're gonna solve this one here. We have 8x squared plus 3x squared minus 25x minus x. So go ahead and pause the video if you're going to try to solve it yourself, which is what I recommend. And that way, even if you make a mistake, once you hit play and watch me walk you through it, you'll be able to identify your mistake. It makes you a lot better, a lot faster. Anyway, so here we go. Just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to go ahead and write the boxes around the common terms right there. And that's it. No more x squares. And these are my x's right there. Okay, just have to remember that this is a negative 25x because I made it look like a plus. Anyway, here we go. So notice I have 8x squared and 3x squared. Notice that I don't do anything with the exponents. They just stay the same. So I'm basically just adding 8 plus 3. That gives me 11x squared. And I'm done with those two. Don't have to look at them. And here, same thing. I'm not doing anything with the x's. Just going to focus on the number in front of it, which is called the coefficient. So we have a 3, but notice that this is a positive 3, so don't make a mistake. Since both of these in the back are negative, I'm going to focus on those first because I can just add them. So that's 25 plus 1x, right? 25x plus 1x gives me negative 26, right? Let me make a note of that so you don't get confused here. So, excuse me. So we got negative 26x between those two right there. And now I have the positive 3x here. Because this is a positive 3x and this is a negative, I'm going to subtract them. The larger absolute value is still 26, so I end up with negative 23x. Basically, it's just a subtraction problem. And therefore, this is my final answer. Hopefully, you got this correct if you paused the video and tried it. So, normally, people will get the last part here wrong. They'll combine the terms. They'll add incorrectly. But for this part, you can just use a calculator. The main principle of this video is to understand what like terms are and make sure that you're combining only like terms together. All right? Hey, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe if you found value in this video, because I'll be putting out more every single week. All right? Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time on Math Quest.